Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Thursday afternoon, May 28th. We're looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader, and another bizarre day as they swing the ES around like it is a penny stock. We gap higher, gap filled immediately. We have a chance for a trend day up with not one, not two, but five sets of single prints that all get filled, and then we go out to what a price probe to the downside. Erratic trading, mindless machines, whatever you want to call it. I can tell you one thing, if I made a market like that when I was a specialist, especially I made a new low on the day in the last half hour after the market was up here most of the day, the phone would have been ringing off the hook by the CEO wanting to wring my neck. But this is what we're going to get when machines are running the show. Mindless machines. Ended up with a very good day. However, put myself in a world of hurt at one point, and we'll go over that in a moment. So the day opened on a gap. I didn't take any position right away. I said I might take a long because it depends on the gap, but I decided not to. It was a smart thing. It immediately did what it's done the last 2 days, which is get above the opening and then below it right away. Drove down. We didn't fill the gap right away. ES did. So as soon as we rallied a bit, took a short period and rode it down to fill the gap. I had a very nice trade. Then I played from the long side the next 4 time frames because that's what the market was telling me to do. We had higher value. The price probe from yesterday held. B period got above the opening. Actually, we went back and forth through the opening all the first 5 time frames, and we were 5 for 5. So there was a tremendous amount of uncertainty until we finally popped in E period. But I took longs in B, C, D. All were nice trades. I didn't stay married to any of them because each time we made a new high, we came back in. So now I'm looking to possibly start fading because we have a P shape starting to form. I had 2 really nice trades in E. Took one to the top. It came back down again. Below the opening, it flushed, added onto it. Didn't even get back to the high, took it off. So I had a really, really good morning. Right? I was trading in both accounts early on, the trading account and the IRA. But here's where I got in trouble. I tried to play innovator again. So, and the problem was I did it in my trading account, which I keep a limited amount of money in, so I can't lose, obviously a lot. But it was still enough in there to give me a world of hurt. But it limited me when we started going up to add on, when the time to add on was right. So G open, right? So look, each time frame kept coming back in. So I'm like, okay, G did the same thing. So I'm like, well, you know what? We have had a chance for single prints. I think it was at least 3 times by that point. I'm like, I think we're going to at least get an afternoon pullback low. So I took a 20 lot put play. The good thing was I was playing next Friday's 308, so I had a lot of room on it, but they were expensive. So I was going to hold them if it didn't come back. Bought 20 of them, bought another 20 of them, bought another 20. So I was long 60. That's the most I could do in that account based on what I had. But I was out a decent amount. Went up in H, I couldn't do anything. Went up in I couldn't do anything. Yes, I could have taken it off the table. But at that point, I'm not saying being stubborn was right. We now had a trend day going at that time. I was prepared to go home with them. I still had 6 trading days to go with them. That's the main reason I was holding them, plain and simple. Now, here's where I would have really have hit a home run on this trade if it was in my other account. When J period opened, it started pushing down, came up, couldn't get H's high. If I had more ammo, I would have absolutely loaded up here. Because then J finally did come out. We started flushing, and I was holding on to him as long as I can. Now, I end up losing on the trade. Not a lot, but I lost money. Certainly was out a lot more than what I lost, but I gave back everything I'd made early in my trading account, and I was out a little bit. So, again, innovator hurt me, not being able to add on when I should have, which would have been J. Adding on in G was the wrong move. 20 here is okay. 20 here is okay. Once G's up here, I shouldn't be adding until I get some kind of 2-sided trade, if I get it at all. So, got most of it back. Then I was pretty determined to get my money back. I was upset at myself. Didn't go looking, didn't go chasing. I was looking for an afternoon pullback low. Actually, a couple of times in L, I could have had a long play. I didn't take it. It went up and took out K's high. I was like, you know what? We're going to go take out the high. And then a little tweet or headline that whatever Trump was going to talk about with China today postponed to tomorrow, and that just set the algos into a tizzy and started flushing this market. And so when I rarely trade in M period, I traded in it a couple of times, shorting it, and I got back everything I was down and even more than I was up earlier. So it turned out to be a good day. Again, not the easiest of days. I mean, it was pretty predictable early to be long, and I was most of the time. I did get ahead of myself in G period, no doubt about it. These algos, they lull you to sleep with this slow grind, 5 for 5, keep coming back into balance. And I was long. And then the first time I take the short trade, boom, they take it up. Totally my fault. I have to be smarter than them. But it worked out okay. All right, destinations for tomorrow. Now, we go with a price probe to the downside. Price probes to the downside have been absolutely horrendous, as I've told you, the last 2 years. A's low of 303.32 will be our first destination to the upside. Then I don't have anything until yesterday's high of 306.84. We were only 7 wide. I was thinking about using L as an afternoon rally high. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. First of all, it's too close to the high. Second of all, after having a chance of 5 sets of single prints to the upside, it's hard for me to call an afternoon rally high. So I'm just using yesterday's high. So if this little headline that put the algos in a little hissy fit, if that dissipates, if they don't talk about it early tomorrow, or if it's nothing that's a big deal, we get above the price pro, we'll probably start grinding right back up. Because once again, remember I said there wasn't anything until 308.47. And it looked like the algos were going to start trying to get to it, if not today, tomorrow. These things are set for these reference points and destinations when there's vacuums in price. But we have another vacuum to the upside because of this move. Now, for the downside, we have today's low of 302.24. And believe it or not, yesterday's price probe of 302.22, it held by 2 cents. It held and we rallied about $1 off of it. So now the question is, which price probe is going to get taken out tomorrow? Today's or yesterday's? Below that, 302.22 is the price probe. Then we have the afternoon pullback low from yesterday of 299.45. And then 296.87 daily low and filling the daily gap at 295.63. Now, let's go to the charts. And a couple of things we have to remember here. Even though this day finished very poorly, and it did for the bulls, a bunch of things we have to keep in mind, right? Because like I've said a million times, one day doesn't make a market, 1 week. We have 1 day to go in the month. Again, forget about what that bar looks like because it keeps showing bad closes. Bad everything, actually. The monthly right now is an inside month up, right? We closed at 303. We round out 295. We're up $8 from that inside month up. That's still pretty positive with 1 day to go. We'll see if we can hold it tomorrow. And then what happens going into June. So balance, inside month up, holding the trend line by about 15, 16 points. So that's not bad. Then it looks even better in the weekly and the daily. Weekly, we're up. We're one time framing up for 2 weeks. We got away from this balance and we're going higher. We're above this. Right now we're above it. Not a lot, but we're above it. 302.50, right? I was rounding that out. 302.50, 60, whatever. So that's going to be the important one tomorrow for me. For the bulls, you'd like to close above this. If you close, yes, if we, as long as there's no disaster tomorrow, we'll still be one time framing up. But if you close back into this balance, well, what's the ultimate destination on it? 287. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's what could possibly happen if you get accepted back into this balance. So the bulls would like to say above 302.50. And then on the daily, outside day up yesterday. Very positive. Well, for a good part of today, it was positive, right? As we traded up over $3 above yesterday's high. only to give it all back and more. So I'm still calling it up because we took out yesterday's high. I'm going to still call it up. We'll see what happens tomorrow if this becomes a 4-day balance tomorrow. Right? If we take out yesterday's low and get accepted into here, then it's a 4-day balance. If we're able to stay above yesterday's low and go higher, then we're still up. That's right. It's all baby steps. The bears want to stay in here and push it lower, and then eventually get this, and then this, and the bulls want to stay up here. You know, it's a simple little game, especially when it's being played by the algorithms, because that's all they're doing. We had a pretty good day in the room today. We worked our way through that trade when a bunch of us were short. Worked out nicely. Come check us out, camelbacktrading.org. Think you'll like what you see, what we're doing here. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.